grace is not sufficient to retain me in His grip. I don't know if He dropped me or I just gave Him the slip, but His grace is not sufficient to retain me in His fold. And I dropped into the hellfire when He loosened up His hold. His grace is not sufficient to teach me wrong from right. I couldn't tell His darkness from the devil's blinding light. His grace is not sufficient to affix me to His cloud. I came up from the fiery lake and surfaced free and proud. His grace is not sufficient to force me to return. It's when you're in the water that you know it doesn't burn. His grace is not sufficient to protect me in His palm. So I turn to beer and whiskey to maintain a sense of calm. His grace is not sufficient to retain me in His clutch. But pretty soon I realized that doesn't matter much. His grace is not sufficient to monopolize my mind, and I've started feeling sorry for the ones He kept behind. His grace is not sufficient, so I learned to persevere. Being so deficient, I could overcome the fear. His grace is not sufficient to prevent me from my play. And I know if we swap places, I'd be glad to see me stray. His grace is not sufficient to obliterate the thrill. His grace is not sufficient, or perhaps it's just His will. His grace is not sufficient to enable me to see. His grace is not sufficient, and that's sure